Hi guys, Martha here with you today. I recently had this album with Jonty Luca for our Vintage Inspiration Monday post, and you guys all really seem to like it, so I thought I would show you how to make a star album. So this one is with Jonty Luca, and it's very masculine, and it has pictures of my son in it. Really cute album to make, and so easy. And so when it's displayed, it looks like this, and this is a 7-page or a 6-page star album. So today I thought I would show you how to make a 7-page 6x6 star album using the gorgeous Darling Molly and some beautiful La La Land stamps and dies. So on the front of the album here I have Darling Molly, I have the Fabulous die, and then I have Flamingo 1 and 2 on the front, and our new nested dies. So I have both the larger of the large and the largest of the small on the front here, and then it opens up like this here, and then this is the first page here. So this has the shoe die, and this is the die for that. And then I used the stitched circle for the die back here. And then here I used our beautiful dress die with the hanger. And so here's the dress and the hanger. And then here I used the Polaroid die, and the heart banner is from the December Club Kit, and another circle and the vintage telephone die there. And then here I used our cute purse die there, and it has the little front pocket thing there as well, and the circle die back here. And here I use the dress die again with the hanger, and I use the 2 flamingos here again, the standing. And then when you open the book for display, it goes like this. How beautiful is that? Such an amazing gift, or just something to keep for yourself as a keepsake. That is really amazing. So let's get to it. I'm going to show you guys how to make it. Okay guys, let's go over what we're going to need for the album, for the basic construction. So we need 7 pieces of cardstock at 12 by 6. We need 7 pieces of designer paper at 10.5 by 5.5. So 10.5 by 5.5. We need 2 pieces of cardstock. These are going to be to wrap our album covers with, so the lighter weight the better. You don't want too heavy of a weight because then it'll crack when we wrap the chipboard for the album cover. So you also need 2 pieces of chipboard. If I didn't say, these are 7 by 7, these 2 pieces. And these 2 pieces are 6 by 6, 2 pieces of chipboard. These are the ones from our store, the chipboard from the store. And you will need 2 pieces of cardstock at each of 5 7/8 by 5 7/8. 2 pieces of designer paper. These will also be for the covers at 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. 14 pieces of cardstock. These are going to be for the inside mats for our album. So 14 at 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. And 14 pieces of designer paper at 4 1/2 by 4 1/2. These will also be the mats for the inside of the album. Okay, so I'm going to get this all put aside and we will get started on the construction. Okay, so for the pages, you're going to take one of your 12 by 6 pieces of cardstock. This one is got some texture on it, so I'm going to score it texture side up, and I'm going to score it at 6 inches, right in the middle. Then my piece of designer paper, I'm going to score at 5 1/4, right in the middle again. Okay, so we'll put the scoreboard aside for now. And you're going to take and fold both of your pieces of that we just scored. Fold them both in half. We'll put this one aside for now, and we're going to work on this one. So because of the way the album lays when it's put together, it's best to do your decorating before you stick this piece to this piece. So in my case, I'm going to take my layers like this. These are the pieces that are 4 3/4 by 4 3/4, these 2 pieces. So I'm just going to use some wet glue. Just stick them on and just try to center them left to right, top to bottom. Press that down. Same thing with this one. Try to line it up as best as you can with the other side. And then we will put our 2 pieces of designer paper on. These are the pieces that are 4 1/2 by 4 1/2. This is such a quick and easy album to put together, but it's so beautiful and so effective. Okay, so now we're going to put on our decorative elements. So this is a circle from our stitched circle dies. So I try to alternate where I put the decorative elements from one section to the next. Like I've already done 2 sections so that we can see how they go together. So on this one, I put the decorative element on this side. So in this case, I will try to put the decorative element on this side, just so when the album, it just gives it more interest to alternate the sides. So I'm going to pop up my circle. Pop it up right in the center there. And then I'm going to put these cute shoes from our I think they're called stiletto shoe die. I think that's what it's called, but it'll be linked below. And since we popped up the circle, we won't pop up our shoe. Shoes. Everyone wants a pair of polka dot stilettos, right? All right. Just kind of put them like that. Okay. So the next step will be to flip your piece over to the back, and you're going to take some adhesive. In this case, since I'm using the dry adhesive, this is, I think it's quarter inch tape. So you're only going to put it along the edges on both sides. If you're using wet adhesive, make sure, this is a very important step, that you only put it along these here edges. Along this edge and this edge, and very close to the edge. Okay. So we'll remove the tape or the backing from both sides. And I'll show you a really easy way to put these two together. So you're going to bring in your white cardstock again, and you're going to line it up, centering it from top to bottom, and you're going to line it up all the way to the edge of this piece here. Oops, get quite close enough there. Might have to get my head in the shot just a little bit. And then a really easy way to make sure the other side gets lined up is just fold this piece over and then bring in your other side, close it up, and then just give it a good rub right here. And then you'll see you've got your Star Album element, your first page. So how you put them together is you're going to add adhesive to this edge here. Just one, you only need to, on each page, you only need to add it to one edge on the outside. So you're going to put it here, again, very close to the edge. And in this case, I'm going to put 2 strips. If you have a wider, like if you're using a 1/2 inch tape, or even your wet glue, you can go out a little bit further on these edges. So you're going to peel it off. And you're going to take your next page that you just did, or the, a finished one, and you're just going to line them up as best as you can on top of each other. Before you even press this front side down, make sure they're lined up at the back. Then press it down. Make sure you give it a good press. You can go in here, since this is the edge you just did. Give it a good press there. And then you'll see they're stuck together at the front, but not back here. And that's what you want. You want it stuck together here. So I'll do one more with you. So I did the same thing here. I just put tape just along this edge here. I put 2 strips because I have the 1/4 inch tape there. So just remove your backing. And I would say that the dry adhesive is probably your best bet here. So again, line up your back as best as you can. Make sure I'm in the shot here. before you press your front down. So press it down really good. Again, you can get in there on this edge, and then you'll see that we now have our 3 sections of our star album. So I'm going to finish the other 3 or 4, and then I'll be back and we will do our album covers. Okay guys, so I will show you where we're at so far. So I did the front cover. So this is where we're at. We've got all of our pages stuck together. There we go. And I'm going to show you guys how to wrap the cover, and I will show you how to do the back cover. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our piece of 6x6 chipboard and we're going to make an X. So put your first piece down and peel it up. And then I'm going to put the second piece. Peel it up. Then we're going to take and center it on the 7x7 piece of white cardstock. Just kind of burnish that down a bit. Now we're going to fold in around all 4 sides, burnishing it down really well with a bone folder. This is why you want lightweight cardstock, because if you had a really heavyweight cardstock, it would crack along the edges. Okay, so once that's done, we're going to put our tape on around in here on all 4 sides. So just put it along the edge there. Nice and close to the edge, so it gets a good tuck in. Okay, burnish down your tape. All right, now grab some scissors and we're going to trim. So this part is really important. So you see where the edge of our chipboard is there? You're going to go about 1/8 of an inch from that edge. You do not want to cut all the way to the edge, because then you're not going to get a nice clean corner for your album cover. All right, so remove your tape now. All the way around. Okay, now bring in 2 edges at a time. So we're going to go, if you start on this edge, go to this one, burnish it down really good. Then we're going to go over here. And over here. So see, we have nice clean edges all the way around. So So the next step is going to be to flip it over and get a piece of ribbon. We have 2 pieces at about 15 inches or so. You probably don't need that much, but just to be safe, then put some right there. In the center, doesn't matter because we don't have anything on it yet, so we don't know what's top and bottom. So just in the center like that. I've got some seam binding here. It works really nice, but you can use any ribbon. You could even use, well, I'm not sure if you could use string, but maybe. So flip it over. Now we're going to add our cardstock and our pattern paper. So we will just use some wet glue for that. A little bit faster. Make sure you line it up. So this piece is 5 7/8 by 5 7/8. And the pattern paper is 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. Let's put that on there. Burnish it down really good. So there's not really any directionality to this pattern, but if you have a pattern that has a directional element to it, then you're going to want to make sure that your direction is right. You're going to want to make sure it's going top or bottom the correct way. Ours doesn't really have any. So what I did is I put some dry adhesive all over the back page of the book. The very last page, I put it all over the back of this. Now making sure your ribbon is going this direction, you're going to line it up. It's the same size because of how the book, because of how the star element works. It is the same size, so you are going to have to make sure to get it lined up perfectly because there's not really too much room for error here. Alright, so now you can open the book and really press it down in here. Alright, and there is your star album completed. Let's get everything out of the way here. So then I would just tie this up for when your album is not on display, and when it is on display, you could also just tie it up. There, this is quite a big star album, but there it is. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and make sure to go to the store and pick up all the lovely elements I used for decorating it. Just do one more quick flip through for you. Alright guys, thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you soon.